Greetings and welcome to In Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. We are here at the Little Carib Theatre in Woodbrook. We are speaking to some of the divas from the Divas Cabaret. But we're starting off though with a conversation with the National Women's Calypso Queen Competition winner for 2024, Naomi Sinnett. Thank you so much for spending the time, Naomi. I want to start off by saying congratulations. And what are some of the feelings that you're going through right about now, thinking about this?
Well, I am excited, I am humble, and I'm just grateful for this win.
All right, and with that though, uh, who are some of the people that have helped in this particular journey? Because we'll go a little further back, but in terms of like saying, okay, someone telling you, okay, well, you could do this line a little different, somebody in the corner saying, yes, girl, you have them. Well, who are some of those people?
Well, of course, Mariabolo, she not only a great writer, but she also give me little tips on things to do. Also, my family, Kurt Sinnett, my father, Aaron Sinnett, my brother, Karen Sinnett, my mother. Also, I can't forget my vocal trainer, Mr. Joseph Williams. And you know, I would get little encouragement from people from my Divas Calypso Cabaret tent. Yeah.
Okay, and I think this is the second year that you've been in the tent?
Yes, second.
So what has that been like? And has there been any difference from year one to this one?
Not really, you know. It's the same nice, cool vibes. I just love this tent.
And I think sometimes it can be a little different where you have ladies who are supporting each other, and because even like looking at you going through band rehearsal just now, you have people telling the song man, hey, she needs to hear. And so what is that like in terms of that level of support?
Well, I just appreciate the fact that we as women can support each other and, you know, just support each other.
And that support is so important, and just human to human. But looking at human to human, there is a human situation that you're singing about in Them Advisors. So what is the song about? And then we'll go a little further into it.
This song is about, you know, the advice that are given to domestic victims. Oftentimes, they are told to leave, but leaving is much easier said than done. And the song stresses that advice is not enough for these victims, and that we need much more.
And you said that you said it's written by Mariabolo, but is it that she had the idea, or is it that you had the idea and said and told her that I want to sing about this? How did it come about that you are singing this song written by her?
Well, last year, as the first time I joined the tent, I told Maria I really admired her writing skills, and I said that I wanted a song, and she just came up with this song, and she gave it to me.
But do you find it's a matter of having to draw on experience, or you're just imagining that it's happening, or how do you kind of have that energy? Like this person went through every single example and situation that you're singing about. What do you pull on to be able to share that emotion?
Well, this topic in particular, it's very rampant, you know. We just recently we heard about the situation, you know. So those topics makes me very emotional, and I am able to go on stage and deliver the message in the right.
But is there a possibility of being too emotional? And I say that because sometimes you may just kind of get locked into that moment, that energy, and you're just feeling it so much. Or is that a good thing in terms of delivering the message?
That I am able to balance that, yes.
And talking about balance though, it seems as though the one thing you've been able to balance is being an artist, also being a student.
Yes, actually I am not in school. I recently finished school the Form 6 level. But right now I am more focused on the Calypso. And after the Calypso, for this year I will be going on to further my studies in music.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that relationship with Mariabolo, because you said, yes, you admire her and her writing ability. Is there a type of song that you like from her? Is it performance on stage? What are some of those things, and specifically that admiration comes from?
Well, when I really got an interest into Maria's work, I actually, the first work that I saw from her was actually Terry Lyons, her performance with Obia and Megan My Day. And I think the writing of those songs was so amazing, and it just really made me want to see, let me give a try to Maria. Yeah.
And I find it very interesting us having this conversation now, and you seem very kind of inside yourself, and that seems to be very different from when you're on stage. So is it a flip? Is it a switch that you flip? What are some of the things that you do a little differently? So this person with this voice on stage, and then you kind of dial it back when you're off stage. What are some of the differences between on stage and off stage?
Well, it's really about the piece that I'm doing, the song that I'm doing, you know. It requires a certain interpretation, and once I interpret it a certain way, I go on stage and execute it well. And when I'm off stage, I just come back to my normal, cool self.
And if I thinking twice about the consequences of their advice, then they call me a totish wife. But every case is not the same. Sometimes it's just a waiting game to ensure you escape with your life. But they keep talking, their advisors. How this tightrope I walking, criticize us. Women are prone to this violence, but so many men suffer in silence. Too ashamed to let people know. Cause we have this tendency to pong when a man is already down and trying his best to hold up strong. Pack your bag and run is solid advice, but it comes at a heavy price. We need much more support. We need much more instead of only talk.
I think there's someone who's looking at you right now and saying, I think possibly I can get into this being a Calypsonian, expressing myself in song on stage. What would you tell that person? And tell them to the camera. Thanks.
I would tell them to go for your dreams. Also have a great team, you know, have a good supportive team who can guide you correctly and just really love your culture and really have a passion for what you do.
And we want to thank you very much, Naomi, for your passion and your talent. And once again, we want to say congratulations to you and congratulations to the team around as well, because we see it's important. We actually hearing respect for the tribe in the background. So respect to you, your tribe, And on behalf of everyone tuning in, we want to thank you so much. This has been In Depth with Dike Rostant. Welcome back to In Depth. We are still at Divas, and we are now going to be speaking with Helen, not of Troy, but of Trinbago. Helen Jones is the woman, and we want to say thank you very much for making the time, ma'am. How you do?
It's my pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Now, looking at the fact that Helen of Trinbago, and I saw one or two things, but let me get it from you, thank you. Who is Helen Jones?
All right, I am first and foremost an educator and entertainer, an advocate, you can say, for the arts.
And when advocating kind of takes different turns sometimes.
So I am a theater arts teacher because I completed a degree in theater arts / carnival studies, so I'm a cultural woman. Yeah, and as a result of that, I try to impart my knowledge of the culture through what I do during the day, teach the youths.
Mm-hmm. And how important do you find that to be? Because I think sometimes it's almost as though people can think that okay, learning is something that we do in the classroom, and culture is something that we do outside of the classroom. How do you try to bridge that gap?
Well, it's amazing to see and to know that there are so many of our youths presently who don't know anything about their country, anything about their culture, you know, and as a result of that, you tend to feel that if you know about Beyonce and you know about Jay-Z, why not know about your culture, your people? It is recognized out there, people embrace it. People love it. They talk about how rich it is, and we here don't know. And of course, you must start from the youths, right? The youth, at the end of the day, we won't always be around, but they are coming up. So we need for them to pass on tradition, pass on our rich culture that we have, you know. So it is very, very important.
And when you say rich culture, I started to think about food one time because of the topic of your song for 2024.
Well, it's a callaloo of all, you know. It's the dance, the singing, the acting, as well as the food. I mean, we have some really tasty food. When foreigners come to Trinidad, the first thing they ask for is curry. It's either roti or doubles or, you know, any kind of thing with the curry, you know, because we tend to boast, likewise Guyana, that we have the best taste in curry. Really and truly, I've been to another Caribbean island and I taste the curry. It looks really nice, but when I tasted it, I was like, oh my God.
Don't call no name, don't call no name.
I'm not, you know. So as a result of that, we do have a tasty curry, but I have never tasted Guyana's curry, yeah?
Okay.
So,
but at the same time, you write song about Guyana curry.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about franchise cricket.
All right. So actually, there are two major points. The curry, in the song, there's a refrain, curry, chicken, chicken, curry. Now, I think everybody should be familiar with that. Curry, chicken, chicken, curry. Because there was always this debate between Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago, whether it was curry chicken, as we say, and they would say chicken curry. You know, so there was always a debate which one is the correct one. At the end of the day, it's curry. All curry tastes the same. We are one Caribbean people, you know. We have a lot of history in common. So it's like all curry tastes the same. We have the same, you know, the same history. And because of that, I thought that it would be creative to incorporate that into the song so that you would know, even without calling the country's name, you would know it's Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago. Right? I sang Humor last year for the first time, and I saw the audience really embrace it. So I decided to give a serious message along in a humorous vein. You know, so even though it may be humorous, there is a message behind it, right? And the messages, when franchise cricket was introduced, because we were accustomed to the long test match, and there were a lot of people who weren't really interested, who weren't really cricket lovers, might find, oh gosh, but the franchise cricket, real exciting, the T20, you know, 20 overs, that kind of thing, and you're looking to see who win and win, right? And it was introduced really, or designed per se, to bring the Caribbean islands together, to unite the Caribbean islands. So it was a really major step in uniting the islands together. And when I look on social media after the semi-finals, and I saw a fight, so I'm like, what is this? And they said, it was said, based on the comments, we don't know the facts of it, but based on the comments, it was because one country won and one lost that they had, you know, this fracas, right? And I thought that it was sad because it was defeating the purpose of introducing the franchise cricket, which is supposed to be promoting unity. You understand? So I thought that, look, we need to sing about this before it gets out of hand. You know, we need to talk about this. We need to remind people the importance of being a united front. And even so, if any Caribbean island has a problem with someone on the outside, we have to come together at the end of the day. When the West Indies go out there to play, we don't go out there to play as Guyana or Trinidad or Jamaica. We go out there as the West Indies. We are one people, one history. We are one region. So we need to always be united and understand that at the end of the day, it's just a game. It's just a game. We have to remember, yes, everybody wants to win. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. But it's just a game. So we must always remember that as we must be a united front.
And you said it's the first, well, last year you did humor.
Right.
And do you find you're better able to give a serious message with a spoonful of sugar to wash down the message so people take it on a little further?
I think that I'm not tooting my own horn, but I think that I have that versatility to do serious and humor. But because of the volatile atmosphere that we have now with all the crime and everything that's going on, I think that the entertainment value is needed there. And you want to make people laugh. You want to make people, even if you come there stressed out, at the end of hearing your song, you know, you put a smile on their face. You get them to laugh. You get them to sing along. You get them to really enjoy the vibes of the song. You know, and this is what I did on the top. As a matter of fact, after my second line, when I said curry, chicken, chicken, curry, the audience reacted the first night. And I was like, okay. You know, it was really, at the end of the verse, everybody was like just cheering and singing along, which is what I wanted to create, you know. So you cannot tend to relieve tension, relieve stress, find an avenue to get our people together to enjoy what Trinidad and Tobago really supposed to be as well. You know?
And you spoke about the feedback from the audience. Mm-hmm. What about feedback from students? Anybody see Miss on stage? They're telling me about it?
What happened is, because I said I'm an advocate for the arts and the culture, I actually teach Calypso in school, right? So right now my students are doing a project. The Form 1s are doing lip syncing, so they're getting a project where they have to lip sync. I have the Form 2s doing extempo, you know, and I played a few videos for them. I taught them the song, the melody, and I have the Form 3s actually writing a Calypso, composing the Form 3s and the Form 4s. And what I would do to show them how to do stage performance, how to just because I told them I don't want them standing and just going side to side to side like they're in a choir. You know, you have to perform your song. You have to perform your song with conviction. You must be convincing to your audience that this is what you believe. So I would perform my songs for them. I would have them sing along, you know, and they enjoyed it. They really enjoyed it, so they're looking forward to completing the project.
And for the last question, I don't want to ask you where you get the handcuff them from. So what I will ask is, what are some of the other ways that you think So it mightn't be somebody who's teaching theatre, it mightn't be somebody who's doing something like that, but still helping to promote a sense of pride in our culture. And young ones coming in the classroom because you said get them while they're young, right? Bend the tree while they're young.
That's correct. What happened is, my husband and I, we have a group. Sometimes we go out and perform, and like I would observe that a child has a particular skill, and I would involve them in the performance and give them a little stipend to let them know that there is value in the arts, not just monetary, but in giving people something that it is lacking in their life, you know?
And you can promote the group, you know. What's the name of the group?
Look Me Productions. Yeah, it's Look Me Productions.
So I'm going to look for that, Look Me Productions. But we want to thank you very much, Helen Jones.
Thank you.
Helen of Trinbago, really promoting the art, also promoting that spirit of unity
Yes.
in ourselves
Yes.
and within the region.
Yes, that's correct. That's
So
correct.
all
It's
curry
important.
tastes the same.
All curry. Well, it's up to you, eh? It's a matter of opinion.
Okay. Highly subjective, because some people will go
Yes.
down, that's the hill that they're ready to die
Actually,
on.
that line was meant to be a controversial line. You know, it's
No
up to
one-
you whether you agree or disagree.
And
based
I
on what
also
was
see you
said.
I feel like you put another meaning in it too, because you say
Yes.
it have some fellas
Yes.
you might
Yes.
not want to say.
Right, because you might find like I'm singing it at the end of the verse, I would say, all corridors stays the same, tell me now, she ain't looking, you tell me, you know? So,
And that's just
yeah.
bringing the audience in a little
Yes,
more as
they
well.
love it, they scream out, you know.
Well, I see encore after encore
Yes,
after
the
encore.
first night they were really, really embracing. I got 2 encores, one after the other. I was hoarse. I'm still a bit hoarse. And yet still they didn't care. They just wanted to hear me. They just wanted to enjoy the vibes. And I am very thankful for that.
And they appreciated you as we
Yes,
do as well.
yes.
Helen Jones, we want to thank you very much.
I have accomplished my goal.
Yeah. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, this has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you so much for joining us.